Well, schematically we're going to help them. They're a year more mature, you're physically, emotionally, and they're better. We're going to have some guys that, you got a guy like Desmond Wynn who moves over from the defensive line, has not had a healthy off-season until this year. Desmond for the first time trained an entire off-season. He's a physical guy that can be special, but he's never had the opportunity to develop those tools and do it with some kind of consistency. A guy like Antoine Lowry, who's learning the position, he also moved over from defensive line. A guy like David Osei, who has progressed, and is now legitimately capable of doing what we're asking him to do. A guy like Andres Civil, who's moved over from defensive line. I think we have better options. We're going to help them schematically. So yeah, I'm quite confident they'll be much better.
Is any new position changes?
You know what? I don't know if they're changes. Like the linebacker position, we may move some guys back and forth, but they're going to play linebacker. It's not going to be a positional change. Maybe on the offensive line, guard center, guard tackle. I don't anticipate any. Now, the young guys, we don't know yet. So the freshmen, we'll work with them and kind of see where we fit them into the picture. But those aren't changes because they really aren't. We don't know what they are yet. And he's going to get his chances, just as Ben Martin will get his chances. But I think what we're going to have to do is pretty quickly make some decisions. I think Frank has done and will do a great job of, Jeremy Deering, these are the things that we're going to try to do with him. You look and say, okay, what can DeAntoine Williams do? Let's make sure we're doing that. So repping them kind of in what they're going to do. But Savon, we don't know what he can do. We haven't coached him yet. I'm sure have high expectations, but until he gets out there and does it, I can tell you though, I just love his attitude. You look at some of the programs these freshmen are coming, these high school programs. St. Peter's Prep. That's a run like a college football program. And Savon, when he got here, had that maturity level, that kind of mental toughness. That you don't get that by accident. And the way he was raised and the way he was coached gives him an opportunity, I think, to go in there and compete. For some freshmen, they just right now aren't mature enough to do it. I think Savon is. Number one, how do they handle being away from home? That's the number one thing. And everybody forgets about that. Some of these kids have never left their hometown. Forget, going away. They've never left their hometown. Now all of a sudden they're living in a different place. Academically, all of a sudden when school starts, there's this huge responsibility, as you know, being a card-carrying member. So I think it's hard. It's hard to figure out. So you got to go do it. You got to give them an opportunity to do it, and that's always frustrating because you're trying to get ready for your season, but you want to see these freshmen, and it's a challenge. Since the reorganization, the league has done a tremendous job. And when you look at other leagues that are, automatic qualifying conferences, it's a cyclical thing. Sure. Leagues go through cycles. But I think what you look at is you look at the fundamentals of the league. Sure. That you see is very, very healthy. I forget who it was. One of the coaches, mentioned the facilities in the league, the dollars that are being poured into the programs, and it's league-wide. Everybody's upgrading, and that's the key because we are in a situation where we really can. With the addition of TCU, the growth of the programs, and whatever future growth we have, I think there's a grand opportunity. And as you mentioned, the TV contract and the ensuing dollars are critical.